Hey guys, what's going on? T2RX6 here, back for another Mass Effect review. And I reviewed Shepard, I guess, on, I think it was Tuesday. And I really like Shepard, and was excited to get everybody else out of the package. And aside from looking really great, which clearly they all do, they have some problems. And Shepard definitely is the one who kind of wows you from the set, and then the others kind of disappoint. So I'm just gonna show Shepard here again real quick, and just to show you, I mean, like, they're fantastically detailed, and I have better lighting today so you can see everything. You know, you got the elbow swivel, the actual joint, the wrist swivels, the shoulder, the ankle swivel on a ball joint, the knees, and then the upper thighs here, which I wish went in and out too, because you can only put them in that standard stance like that. You can do a little bit of an action pose, but not anything super special, you know. So yeah, but Shepard's definitely the coolest of the set, and yeah, it kind of goes down from there. So I'm not sure if I should start at the bottom of the barrel, or if I should start with who I think is second best, but I guess second best is kind of a tie, I suppose. So let's start with the bottom of the barrel. And we've got Thane. And if you look down at his peg here, he's not really pegged in all the way. And if you try to peg him in all the way, my super glue on this base plate made this little peg come out. So that kind of sucks. Now, he's cool posed and all, he looks nice on a shelf, but that's all you can do with him. I mean, he's got some neck articulation so he can look this way if you really wanted to, I guess. He can look at where he's going. He can't really look up or down. Well, he can look down a little bit more, so he's checking to see if he got shot, I guess, at the end. Yeah, his arms are on, you know, this rotating ball joint. He's got the elbow, he's got wrist swivel, but there's just no natural position you can get his hand into that, like, would look normal. And here's the biggest problem. To facilitate how he's holding his pistol, this ball joint is set forward, so he's always has, like, one shoulder shrugging. So if you wanted to get him in, like, a kind of neutral stance, that's as close as you're gonna get with an awkward, wrong-facing hand. The knees, this is as far forward as they go. You can bend them this far back. There's no ankle swivel. So, I don't know. If you play with your toys or something, maybe he can sit in Barbie's car or something. I have no clue. There's really nothing you can do with him in terms of standing him there. Nice and detailed, though. The jacket is like a soft rubber, which I think is painted, so you probably want to be careful with it, just so you don't end up destroying the paint apps. So yeah, that's all the articulation you're getting out of this guy. Dropped his pistol. For the pistol, it's just all cast in black with 3 little gray tampos put on it. That's about it. Nothing really special, which stinks, because some of the other weapons, I guess, have a little bit better paint apps going on, so it feels like they skimped on paint apps on the pistol to make him better or something, but I don't see it. So yeah, that is Thane, and that's about the only stance you're going to get him into. That is the most disappointing one there is. The other two are fairly comparable, but see, this peg is so bad on Thane that you can't even get it into his foothold properly half the time. It starts pushing out the bottom. So the fact that I had it in at all to start this was amazing. Let's put him back there. Whatever, you stay there, I don't care. Jerk. Whatever. Let's move on to the next disappointment, which was, well, I would say Grunt and Tali are pretty equal, but Tali had some extra things that disappointed me when I got her out. First off, this gun, and good luck getting her to hold it in any position other than straight down like that, because her hands are not designed in such a way that they grip the gun at all. It's just, the fingers are too wide, far apart. You could do it where she's not really holding it right and hold it, I guess, but that doesn't look right. So yeah, I found the best is just to have it down and let her leg support it. That also gives me a similar problem. When she came in the package, her arm was down like this, and I tried and tried and tried and couldn't actually get it to move. And if you look close, there's actually a little bit of, you probably won't see it on the video, but the plastic stressed. I actually had to take a flat blade screwdriver and jam it in there, and kind of like I was taking the sockets off and bend the plastic a little, so that way the paint apps that are on the rotating portion of her arm, you know, they were locking her arm in place, so she flat out couldn't move it until then. Her articulation, she's got a shoulder, she's got a wrist, she's got an elbow, and of course the shoulder can swivel because it's one of those ball joint hinge type connections. Same goes for this side, but you're a little more restricted because of her, the Omni tool, yeah. So that still moves, but it's harder to find it in a position that you can do something with it. Not all positions can you make it sit properly when her elbow's bent. Shoulder, of course, again, this one's way loose compared to this one. Nice detailing on her though. The hood is that same rubber again, and it translates down to this belt, which is also rubber, and the leg parts, which then comes to the next problem. And again, I wish you could do something with their legs a little better. Let me orient this down a little so you can see. So you can see that her legs, you know, she's got the alien looking legs, which makes completely worthless articulation on her, because you can bend her back that far, and if you're so inclined, you can lean her forward this far. So I guess she's in the Smooth Criminal Michael Jackson video or something like that. I don't know what she's doing. So there's really only one natural way to have it, which is weird because they've got this this knee swivel here, and there's nothing you can do with it. You know, and you can't move the legs farther out, so there's no reason why you would want this knee swivel down here unless you want to make her look like she has to pee or something. No ankle at all, which would have been nice because maybe you could have done something with it, with her, you know, ankles if she was walking or something, a little more dynamic pose. She does have the thigh, but the problem is, as you can see, the skirt part gets in the way, and since it's just a rubber, I'm not moving it because, you know, 5-10 years from now or whatever, that rubber is going to start getting brittle and it's going to crack. So yeah, that's pretty disappointing. I mean, you can, if you want, I don't do this that often, you can pull her thing back and see what her head looks like all the way around. It's not that interesting. It's silver. The rubber actually took off some of the paint from the top of her head. It might not show up on camera here. Yeah. She also has probably, I think, the worst paint apps going around her mess, because a lot of the silver stuff is just slopped with purple because of, I guess, the speed, but since her hood covers it, it's not that big of a deal, I suppose. She's also got this nice knife on her leg. I forgot about it, but it doesn't come out. It's just molded there. So, I guess it looks cool. And that is what they are. Just cool looking toys. Can you hear the disappointment? Shepard set my expectations so high. I guess I should show the gun. So you get the shotgun with her. And yeah, it's mostly silver with a little bit of the black that it was cast in showing through, and an M27 Tempo on the front. Looks like you got a little bit of dry brushing around the barrel there to kind of, it's not it's not black, but it's not silver. So, looks pretty nice. But again, you can only put it down. And then finally there's Grunt, who is a big chunky solid piece of plastic who really doesn't need this stand. Because you can get him to stand on his own much better than any of the other characters. So, the problems with Grunt. Well, here's his head articulation. That's it. You can make him flip his head all the way around. His elbow, or his arms, same ball joint hinge thing. Like, basically the best way I could describe it is like old He-Man toys. He's got an elbow, no elbow rotation, a hand rotation, same thing for the other side, mirrored articulation there except for the different hand. No, well, he does have a waist. I was surprised about that. Does Tali have a waist? Maybe I didn't pay enough attention. Yeah, she does. She's got a waist right above here. So, let's find out if Thane... No. So, Thane does not. So he's got a waist. So you can at least kind of turn him like that. But then the front of his armor hits his leg armor. So this is as much waist rotation as you're getting. Which is good because I think anything more might look too awkward. And he does look menacing, I guess, like that. He looks like he's going to rip your face off or something. Cute from Optimus Prime. As for the legs, again, I wish that he had some kind of outward-inward motion because all you can do is this. He's got really stiff knee joints that, again, are kind of worthless. You can do that. You can do that. The fact that they're worthless is because all you get for the ankle is the swivel. You don't get a rotation on a ball joint. So it's really, again, worthless articulation. So, I mean, if you want to make them statues that just stand there and paint them pretty, that's fine. You know, put them in their pose and make them a solid piece. But if you want to make them action figures, quote unquote, then, you know, they need to be able to pose, in my opinion. Grunt's gun, I think this is his special shotgun. He's got some red tampo stripes in the front that are really hard to see. Really poorly painted. I'm not sure if it's supposed to be that way. White or silver stripes. A little blue inside and the gray tampo here. And then the front again has been dry brushed a little to give it just a slight silver tinge. And Grunt has the same problem where it's hard to make him hold his weapon. As you can see, it fell out right in the beginning. It's not as bad as Tali's because his fingers are so much thicker. You can kind of jam them into the trigger and he'll hold it pretty good. But it's still not, you know, the best. And I find it hard to put him in a position that I feel like this gun would be held. Like, I feel like it'd be maybe closer to his body. I guess that's not so bad with his limited waist articulation. So you could do something like that and he'd look pretty cool. But again, if you're buying these, don't be expecting action figures. Be expecting slightly changeable statues, except for Thane, who is just not changeable really at all. You just can't make him look good in anything else. So, yeah. And it sucks, because it is disappointing that they're so good looking and Shepard basically sets the bar so darn high. And then this is what you end up with afterwards. I guess the last question that I'm sure might come up is these extra weapons. Can Shepard use them? Because if you were a soldier, and that just shows how heavy he is. If you could hear how he impacted my table. Anyway, if you played Shepard as a soldier, you could use any of these weapons. And so we'll take his rifle out and we will try the pistol. And if you fiddle with the hand a little, you can actually get it on the trigger. So that works out. You know, you can have him with the pistol if your Shepard was, you know, one of the different classes. The shotgun, can he do it? Yeah, without putting his finger on the trigger though, so you can at least hold it. The big question is Grunt's gun. And this one I don't think is gonna be holdable. Not in a convincing manner, at least. And it's not really. I mean, he's holding it, but it doesn't look right. Which is fine, because it was supposed to be a gun that was special for Grunt. So, that doesn't bother me too much. But, just because now, I mean, Grunt and Tali look fine, but Thane looks stupid without his pistol. You know, he's just holding his hands all weird, like he's, I don't know what he's doing. Trying to be in Dragon Ball or something like that. Maybe he's auditioning to be Piccolo. It's possible. Yeah, but since they all look fine, you know, except Thane, I'm just gonna basically leave them with their weapons. And Thane has to have his weapon basically, because he just doesn't look any good without it. So, yeah, this is T2RX6. I hope it helps you if you've decided to pick up these guys. You know what you're getting ahead of time and you're not disappointed. Especially if you open Shepard first, open him last. And yeah, I'll see you next time.